All right, picture this. Now, imagine it's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. The guy in Texas just watched a video about a medication called GLP-1, right? And maybe he's just trying to lose a little weight. But maybe his doctor mentioned that it could help him. Either way, he's got questions. And now he's typing away them right into his computer or his phone. And Dr. Jones is already answering him. Wow. Not because Dr. Jones is awake at 2 a.m. No. Not because some poor SAP assistant is pulling an all-nighter. No. Let's think about this. But because Dr. Jones built something. Something I'm calling the clone that never sleeps. And by the end of this episode, you're going to understand exactly what that means. And more important, you're going to understand why it matters for you and your business, because this is what we're doing. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the show. I'm Matt Coffy. I'm founder of Profit Engines. You may know me as a rock star as well, because I do that stuff too. This is where we talk about real business, though. This is not theory. It's not fluff. It's stuff that we're doing, like real systems, things that we implement, real results, and the real money that follows when you stop doing things that, we would call the hard way. Now, today we're going to go inside one of the most recent exciting projects that my team and I have been working on. And it's something that I'm really proud of. We're calling it an AI brain. And we've built it for a real doctor. Now, a real client, and I mean who was drowning in debt and questions and losing his mind and losing leads and leaving money on the table every single day. And by the time the story is over, you're going to want to maybe get one for yourself. So stay tuned. Because the last few minutes of this episode, that's where it gets really interesting. Now, here's something that most businesses, their owners never admit out loud. You're in a bottleneck of your own world in your business. Think about that for a second. Every question a customer ever has needs you to answer it most of the time. Every piece of advice, real advice, every explanation, every sales conversation on every platform goes through you. You went into business to be free. And instead, you built yourself a very expensive job where everything stops if you stop. Now, that's the trap. And I find this over and over. And it can kill more businesses than bad marketing could ever kill. Now, meet Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones is a medical expert in something called GLP-1 medication. You might know it as trizepatide or semaglutide. Now, that's a science behind all these drugs that, like Ozempic and the treatments you've probably seen on TV, that are really the killer of all people who are fat, right? And he's really good at what he does. He's renowned. He gets hundreds of thousands of views on his videos. So good that, in fact, he's become kind of a mini celebrity. Yeah, it happened. And he's got YouTube channels and TikTok posts and Instagram shows and blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. And people love him. They follow him. They trust him. Every single day he's putting out content. But here's the problem. He was getting hundreds of questions every single day. Literally thousands of comments from Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all over the place from people who wanted to genuinely want help. Really. And there was really no process in place. But the people were ready to buy. And there just wasn't enough of Dr. Jones to go around. Even if his assistants could be him for a few minutes, you can't last that long. His team was doing their best. But answering questions manually, one by one, all day, every day, well, that's not really a business. That's a hamster wheel. And we kind of knew that. So we asked ourselves a simple question. What if Dr. Jones didn't have to be the one answering? What if we could build a version of him that already knew everything that he knew, right? And never got tired, never went to sleep. This is where it gets interesting. My tech partner and I sat down and said, look, Dr. Jones has been creating content for years. YouTube videos, Zoom calls, teaching sessions, coaching. He's explained peptides and GLP-1 drugs and weight loss management to the nth degree, all in his own words, his own style, and over and over again. Now, that content already exists. So what if we took all of it and built a gigantic brain? It's like a big database. And here's what we actually did in plain English. First, we grabbed everything, every single YouTube, every single video, every single Zoom recording, everything that we could think of that we could, and took the words and built them and watched these videos too. And then took out the most important things the way that Dr. Jones explains it. The tone, the examples, the use cases. And that's all in the transcripts and in the delivery. And we captured all of it. Second, we organized everything into a gigantic searchable library. Think of it like a library where every book is something that Dr. Jones has ever said, written, and has talked about with clients. Anything you could find in under a second. Right? Third, we connected that library to the places where Dr. Jones actually does business. Slack, his website, social channels, his sales team. And here's where the magic happens. When someone asks a question, whether it's in a comment on YouTube or in a message on Instagram or in a note in Slack, the brain reads that question, finds the right answer through the database that we've built, in Dr. Jones' own words, and responds. Not generic answer, no. Not something that is made up or hallucinated. Dr. Jones' actual thinking. It's on guardrails to actually show the expertise every single time what Dr. Jones would say. And if you're worried about AI just making stuff up, which is fair, it's a good concern, we solved that too. Because the brain only pulls from Dr. Jones' content. It's only allowed to do that. It's not guessing. It's not searching. It's not going to the internet making up anything it wants. It's working from a locked up library that only contains verified, accurate information from Dr. Jones himself. The brain doesn't make things up. It only knows what Dr. Jones actually knows. Now let's talk about what that means and actually what it produces, because results are the only thing that matters. First, his team always is growing. New hires come in, people leave, and they need to understand the medication at a deep level because they also need to work on it. So before that meant Dr. Jones had to spend time teaching and coaching and strategizing and preparing materials and recording blah, blah, blah videos, teaching people even how to become part of his company. Now we built a full training course in Dr. Jones' voice, using Dr. Jones' knowledge, entirely created by the AI. Now, new hires take the courses, come in, get tested, and leave, knowing the material exactly how the way Dr. Jones would want to present it to them. No more of his time is required. Second, remember those hundreds of questions that come in daily? His team now feeds those questions directly into the brain and gets back to Dr. Jones. Quality answers in seconds, right? They review it, they send it, done. What used to take hours, painful, manual processing and work now takes just minutes. Third, Dr. Jones now posts 20 to 30 times a day across all these multiple platforms. And writing scripts for all that content was crushing his team. Now the AI brain helps draft scripts and ideas grounded in real medical accuracy and things that he's done in the past. So the content keeps getting better and flowing without burning anyone's time. And fourth, every morning, Dr. Jones gets a message with a summary of all the hottest trending topics in the GLP-1 space from the brain across the internet. So he knows now exactly what's happening, what's trending, what people are talking about, what to talk about for his own strategy. So he can jump in with a reply of that wave of information and get the attention that he deserves based off of his knowledge base. And here's the real kicker. All of this is driving sales, real revenue. I'm talking $500,000 of revenue on a monthly basis because he answers the questions that build trust. Every piece of helpful content that moves someone closer to saying, yes, I need help, I need to lose weight. The brain doesn't just answer, it sells quietly, consistently, and around the clock. Now, one of the greatest marketing persons on the planet, Dan Kennedy, who ever lived, urged people to say, if the money is in the list, but the fortune is in the follow-up. And I'd update that for today's world, that the fortune is in the multiplication. Because here's the real secret of what we built for Dr. Jones. We didn't just make him more efficient. We multiplied him. There is now a version of Dr. Jones available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, on every platform, in every time zone. Speaking with his knowledge and his authority. Without him lifting a finger. That's not science. That's what you can do now with AI. And I think that's the real important thing, is to know that these tools exist. Now ask yourself honestly, how many sales are you losing right now? Because someone had a question at 11 p.m. and didn't get an answer. Right? How many times did they even get responded to? Emails and messages that were not able to be followed up on. How many leads that went to your business go cold because your team just couldn't respond or didn't have the time or just never got to it or the follow-up never existed? How many new employees take 6 months to get up to speed with your content because you're just too busy to train them or too busy to even get in touch with them on a daily basis to get them tested and trained through these processes? So every one of those is $1 walking out the door. Really, that's what this comes down to. The business that we are in today, the business that we're winning, are the ones that figured it out on how to multiply themselves. Those are winning. I go through different businesses every day besides Dr. Jones and see what's happening. There are conversations and closings happen. Dr. Jones closes 4 to 5 appointments just overnight by people walking in to a website or chat and saying, I need help. And the AI puts them into appointments and they close them into clients. This is not a story about a doctor and a technology experiment. No. This is a story about a business owner who refused to stay the bottleneck for his own business and built a system that works with him and lets him be everywhere at once. So answer every question, train every employee, create content every day, all with help, without burning out or hiring an army of people. You can do the same thing. And it's not hard. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a contractor, a water company, an oil company. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Even if you're a consultant or a gym owner, things go on forever. People have questions. They're going to go, especially if you're running advertising, they're going to go find answers. And if you have the expertise, if you have the ability to answer them, but you're not able to, you can multiply yourself and have these questions answered without you being there. There is a brain waiting for you to be built. Everything you already know, everything you could possibly think of. That's what we've been doing here at Profit Engines. We've done it for healthcare. We've done it for marketing agencies. We've done it for law firms. We've done it for a lot of people. We're not selling chatbots. No, we're talking about building a real working revenue generating version of you that never sleeps. If that idea is lighting something in your head, maybe your brain's like going, maybe that's a good idea. Well, good. That's your instinct telling you maybe you're missing out on something important. So reach out to us if you really want to take a conversation on this, and let's see what's possible. Because the question is really, can I do this? No. The question is, how much longer can I afford not to? I'm Matt Coffy. This has been Profit Engines, another episode. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of the day or the evening. Thank you for listening.